Hi guys, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about getting to use the space that you have for grooming and making the best use of what surfaces you have for getting your dog groomed. I am going to be just showing you brushing one of my dogs in the house here, and I'm going to do it with no table or restraints just to show you how you can get on yourself at home. So ideally, what we would suggest is that you use a raised surface for grooming your dog. If you've ever watched your own dog being done at the groomers, you'll see that we use a lip system, which is an H-frame over the table, a bar under a strap under their belly, and one round their neck. These aren't restraints. A lot of people think they're restraints, but they are simply designed to stop the dog jumping off the table and hurting themselves. So when you're grooming in the house here and we're recommending a raised surface for them, please be very aware that there is nothing keeping them on top of those surfaces. So you're going to need to be really diligent in terms of watching them to make sure that they don't jump and hurt themselves. So there's a variety of places in the house. In my own house, I've got this little sideboard as you come in, which I have a Shih Tzu and a Brussels Griffon, so it's plenty surface. I have a dining table, and I have a variety of kitchen work surfaces that you can use. I'm just going to use the centre island in the kitchen because it's a nice height. It's good and useful for brushing the dogs on. So I'm just going to set this up here so you guys can see. Okay, so we've set this table up. I've popped a wee towel on it because obviously these are your work surfaces, so you want to keep them as clean and tidy as you possibly can. This is my dog Bria. She is 14 and a half and she has a pacemaker, so she can't actually have a head collar on anyway. We can't have anything round her neck because it interferes with the pacemaker. So I'm just going to show you, she's very fine coated. She's lost a lot of her hair now that she's old, but unfortunately I've got a 14 and a half year old dog and a 16-year-old dog, so they're not the best candidates for showing you grooming. And later on when we get a bit clipping, I am going to borrow some dogs for doing that. So what to do is get your dog to stand on the table. So if you just take one hand and place it underneath their belly and one hand underneath their chest, you can stand them up. You can extend your hand underneath their belly and stand them up if you're on your own. So we're going to take our pin brush to start with and work from the nape of the neck right the way to the base of the tail. So we're going to brush one wide pattern 2 or 3 times and then take it slightly to the left and slightly to the right and repeat 2 or 3 times. You're then going to attempt to do your belly, so you're going to follow the line of the hair and brush down and under your belly, just taking in that curve. This is a real problem area. People don't brush it right the way through and they end up with getting knots just as it turns into their actual stomach. So we're going to brush this underneath and then we're going to come into our back leg, brush it straight down, past the knee and right over the foot. The most important thing to remember with brushing your dog is you have a front, a back, an inside and an outside. So every single limb that you do on your dog, you should follow that criteria. So do your outside right the way to the foot, the back, so right over the bum and into the crease, the front right over the knee into the ankle, and the inside. The way we do that is we lift the opposite leg and brush inside and right the way down to the foot. Now you can repeat that a couple of times just to make sure you've got all your tucks, and then we repeat it again with the comb going right to the base of the skin. So right into the knee and over the feet. Bria really doesn't have a lot of hair here on her feet. And over the front, down to her toes, from the back into her bum, and down the back into her hock here, and then lift the opposite leg up, drop yourself down, and you can take it right from the inside out and repeat this on the other side. For your front leg, you're doing exactly the same. So just remember, you have an inside, an outside, a front and a back. So you would lift your leg forward, do your inside, right from the crease in your armpit, and brush the hair down in the direction it grows. Then, over the front of your leg to the toe, move your grip to the armpit here and come right over your toes, right over your toes. A lot of people miss their toes. And then lift it back out from the toe and do the same on the opposite side. So you've done the inside, the outside, the front, and then the back. You've got an entire leg. So that's that bit brushed there. And then come back, lift your leg again, and take the line of your belly and make sure you've got right inside to their stomach. So you're brushing all this area to get your limbs. We'll just brush her through. Don't forget to do your tail. You can lift it up, brush it over, the outside, the inside, the underside, and the top side. Come here, darling. And then we're just going to do the same for Bria's chest. So we're going to lift her up. I'm just putting my hands, I don't know if you can see, just underneath her chin line and very lightly pushing her head up so I can get right into, just going to turn you around a wee bit, Bria. We can get you, come here, darling. There we go, good girl, good girl. So we're going to get right into that underside of the neck. Brush it right down, 3 wide brushes in the middle, and then just scoop out to the side, right over your shoulder and right over your other shoulder. You can lift this front leg again and make sure your chest brushing meets your belly brushing so you don't end up with a ridge of knots here on your stomach. When you're doing your head, it's the same thing. So what we're going to do, it's called a groomer's hold, where your dog's incisors are. Their canine teeth. You can take a tiny bit of hair on either side and just use that to manoeuvre your dog's head. It's not a tight grip. We are literally very loosely holding it. We use it for when we're cutting in the eyes. So if your dog does decide to jump away, you can control them and nobody gets injured. So when you're doing your head, it's the same thing. We're coming right from the top of the head into the nape of the neck. Don't forget this bit here, it's a problem area. So brush right down and join into what you've done on the back. You can move your ears. Bria's only got little ears, but obviously your Lhasas and Shih Tzus have got longer ears. Move them out the way and then just get into your cheek and brush right down. Come over the front of your nose and brush down, and then with your chin, take a tiny bit right at the front so you're leaving all this hair free, and you can brush it right the way through on your face, and then repeat exactly the same as the body with your comb. So you're coming down, brushing all the way through this, making sure it gets right to the base of the hair so we're ready for doing a little bit of trimming.